Okay, we're on Keilim Perek Tet, Mishnah Zayin, 7th Mishnah in the 9th chapter of Masechet Keilim. Says the Mishnah, Sreida shenituna al pia tanur mukaf tzamid patel. If you have this Sreida is a hard thing to translate. Let's look at the Bartanur for a second. Sreida, I mean areva ktana shanachto mishtamesh ba. I thought areva was kind of like a small basket, but it means like a mat of some kind. Pshuta, it's straight. Let's look at the jastro for a second. Coarse web or matting. Stuffed matting used for stoppers of stoves. Right? It was just like, a pad that they had that they would put on top of the stove. So you have this straight up. We want to know, is it tzamid patil? If it's sealed, then it's a tzamid patil. If it covers the entire, the entire thing, then it's sealed. So you put this thing on top. Okay, surrounded by a tzamid patil. Bartanur says mimurach betit, and it's been plastered. Remember, it's been plastered with mud or with clay. So that it will be sealed. It won't become the thing won't become tameh. Okay, so now nisdak min hatanur l'sreida. Let's say there's cracks now, because that's what happens in earthenware. It gets cracked. So how much of a crack is enough that it will then become considered not permanently sealed? It's not airtight. Shi'uro melopi mardea shalo nichnas. So then the measurement is melopi, the diameter of the mardea. Mardea is malmad bakar. Remember, it's that stick that you use to guide the cattle. V'yesh be'kefo tefach. Its diameter is a tefach. V'avyo shlish tefach. So therefore its thickness is a third of a tefach. Because as we know, pi, d, whatever, etc., etc. Okay, so therefore, how much is the shiur? How big must the crack be? Melopi mardea shalom nichlas. Exactly, if this is the mardea, so I use a pen here. If it's shalom nichlas, it's big enough that it's exactly the size. Even if you can't stick it through. I mean, it's literally that size. You can't stick it through. But if it's the size of the mardea, then it's tameh. Rabbi Yehuda says, no, nichnas. It has to be able to enter. Meaning it has to be big enough, just a tiny bit bigger, that you can actually insert the mardea in the hole. Nistika sreida. Okay, let's say the sreida is so that's in the plaster. That's in the plaster. Let's look at Rabbi Posen for a second. Here we go. Okay, in the side itself, we're going to get to nistika straight out. But here you see the plaster. There's a. Here we go. There's a crack in the plaster. Here's a crack over here, right? And you have this pi mardea. Can you stick it in or not in that plaster? If you can't stick it in, according to the Tanakama, or according to Rabbi Yehuda, according to the Tanakama, even if you can't stick it in shalom nichnas, Rabbi Yehuda says it has to be able to be stuck in. Nistika sreida. Let's say the mat itself becomes cracked. Shiuro kimulo pi mardea nichnas. Then the Tanakama says no. Then it has to be able to insert it. Rabbi Yehuda Omer shalom nichnas says Rabbi Yehuda no. You don't have to insert it. It has to be just exactly the right amount. You have a crack in the sreida. Is it big enough that you can stick your mardea in? Stick your guiding stick. Haya agol. If it is round, ein ro'ino to aroch. You don't see it as if it's long. Ella. Rather, the measurement is, as we said, the diameter of mardea nichnas, to be able to stick the guide stick in. Now, the Gati on this thing says, Piskazo eno muvenet. He says, nobody understands what this means. Many of them have difficulty understanding it. So I'll just show you what Posen does. He says, if it's round, meaning this is a thick matting, and if it's rounded, i.e. curved, that's what I think the Rashash Tiferet Yisrael says. If it's curved, rather, that's not enough of a hole, even though it's big enough. Okay? Nonetheless, you have mardea is straight, and you have to stick it in. And so in order for Shiro Kimulopi Mardea Nichnas, since you have to stick it in, therefore that's not a big enough of a hole in order to make it tummy. That's how he understands. Otherwise, it's very difficult to understand what this means. Haya agol. All right, we'll stop here. Dedicate our learning to remembering my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Make it a great day.